So listen, finding massive structures or ancient artifacts and different things underneath pyramids and places like that, that ain't what bothers me, right? It's the curses that can be released is what bothers me when it comes to this type of stuff. Y'all don't believe in curses and different things like that? Is it all just, oh, it's just in your mind is what a lot of people say to you? Yeah, okay. You go back and read some of the stories of people opening coffins and different things like that back then, and what was released, tombs and stuff, opening tombs and what was released, the different curses and how people one by one started dying off. That's what I be worried about and what be having my intrigue. So I don't always just be paying attention for the, like in this case, the massive structures that they found, but I be wanting to know about the curses that could have potentially been released as well. So, but this video here is they just leaked new images of the massive structures found hidden beneath the pyramid of Khafre. Let's check it out.
The whole thing about the pyramid scan, I think the first reaction was, I want to know more. I think that's universally shared.
A groundbreaking revelation has emerged from the heart of Egypt, drawing the gaze of historians, archaeologists, and the general public alike. Recent images released via advanced satellite technology have unveiled what appear to be vast subterranean structures beneath the Khafre pyramid on the Giza plateau. These findings, spearheaded by researchers Corrado Malanga, Armando May, Filippo Biondi, and Nicole Ciccolo, have captured the attention of the global community, with the newly released images rapidly circulating across social media platforms. Thousands of viewers have shared and commented on the imagery, questioning the true nature and origin of the immense underground formations. Newly released satellite images have revealed massive underground structures beneath the Khafre pyramid on Egypt's Giza plateau, causing widespread interest and speculation. As soon as the images surfaced online, they quickly spread across social media, drawing attention from thousands of people around the world. Many began questioning what these underground formations really are and why such monumental features had remained undiscovered for so long. The unusual precision and scale of the structures have...
You have to question, like, were they undiscovered? Or did somebody already discover it and know? Just wasn't saying nothing. That's what I be thinking.
These underground formations really are, and why such monumental features had remained undiscovered for so long. The unusual precision and scale of the structures have led some to believe they cannot be natural, sparking theories about their origin and purpose. The discoveries have fueled growing concerns that information about these features has been suppressed or downplayed, with some suggesting a possible cover-up of ancient knowledge or hidden history.
What if that's the case? You know, we've always been paying attention to the pyramids from the ground up. Maybe it should be from the point down and below ground. Maybe we've been looking at this thing all wrong and approach it a different way, maybe.
The growing buzz highlights the public's deep curiosity about ancient civilizations and their true capabilities. This remarkable discovery was made possible through the use of synthetic aperture radar technology, a high-resolution imaging technique capable of detecting underground structures that are otherwise invisible to traditional archaeological methods. The research team utilized SR data sourced from Capella space satellites, enabling them to conduct precise and detailed scans of the area surrounding the Khafre pyramid. This cutting-edge approach allows radar waves to penetrate the Earth and reflect off underground anomalies, capturing data at various angles to construct a three-dimensional model of what lies beneath. Filippo Biondi, one of the leading figures in this study, has previously advanced the application of SR in archaeological contexts. His 2022 study on Doppler tomography and its capacity to detect internal features of the Great Pyramid set a precedent for the current exploration. Building upon this foundation, the present research has revealed astonishing findings that may significantly reshape current understanding of the Giza complex. Among the most intriguing discoveries are 5 identical underground structures located near the base of the Khafre pyramid. Each of these formations consists of 5 horizontal levels and sloping roofs, suggesting a high degree of architectural planning. The uniformity and geometric layout of these formations immediately cast doubt on...
That almost looked like springs coming down. I don't understand that. Or where they could have been. What was the goal here? Like, those really look like you could press that down and it bounce right back up, almost in a sense.
On the notion that they could be natural geological features. Further analysis revealed 8 cylindrical structures resembling vertical wells, each encircled by a descending spiral pathway. These features appear to be part of a connected system, potentially functioning as passageways or ventilation shafts. However, it is the 2 colossal cubic structures that have stirred the most intense speculation and intrigue. Measuring approximately 80 meters on each side and buried at a depth of 648 meters, these vast cubes are unlike anything previously documented beneath the Giza Plateau. Their symmetrical shapes and strategic positioning suggest intentional design rather than random formation. Radar scans also indicate that these structures are connected to the cylindrical wells and appear to extend beneath not only the Khafre pyramid, but the other 2 pyramids of the Giza complex as well. The sheer size and depth of these formations raise profound questions about their purpose and origin. While mainstream archaeology has long held that the pyramids were built solely as royal tombs, the discovery of such extensive underground infrastructure invites alternative interpretations. The geometric precision and the complexity of the layout imply a level of engineering that could point to a broader functional design, perhaps related to energy, storage, or spiritual practices yet to be fully understood. The research team applied Doppler tomography to measure subtle vibrations within the structures, offering further evidence of their physical integrity. This method detects minute oscillations, which can suggest the presence of hollow spaces or differing material densities. Additionally, radar data was translated into phonic signals to analyze the vibrational patterns within the subterranean network, revealing further insights into the possible composition and structural properties of the formations. While some voices remain skeptical, suggesting that the formations might be natural voids or the result of seismic activity, the high degree of symmetry and organization challenges these interpretations. The interconnected pathways and layered architecture reflect deliberate design, prompting a re-evaluation of ancient Egyptian engineering and the knowledge systems that may have influenced the construction of these massive monuments. The implications for Egyptology are substantial. If these underground formations are indeed man-made, they may represent a previously unrecognized aspect of ancient Egyptian architecture and planning. The possibility that the pyramids were part of a broader and deeper complex could transform current theories about their purpose, potentially indicating a multifunctional role beyond the ceremonial or funerary. In the broader academic community, the work of Malanga, May, Biondi, and Chikolo is being hailed as a triumph of interdisciplinary collaboration. The fusion of archaeology, satellite imaging, and advanced physics is breaking new ground in the exploration of humanity's past. This approach exemplifies how...
I can't wait till we transfer and start using some of that technology in the ocean. Imagine what we're going to find and see there. It's almost nerve-wracking at that point.
How modern technology can complement and expand traditional archaeological practices, uncovering clues hidden deep beneath the Earth's surface. To further clarify and share their findings, the research team has announced a series of press briefings and scientific presentations. These events are expected to delve deeper into the technical details of the scans and offer interpretations of the geometric data collected. The scientific community and the general public alike await these presentations with keen interest, hoping for additional context that might help unlock the mysteries buried beneath the Khafre pyramid. As more data becomes available and analysis continues, it is likely that the conversation surrounding the Giza Plateau will evolve. The discovery opens new avenues for research and exploration, and it invites both professionals and enthusiasts to reconsider what is known about one of the world's most studied ancient sites. Whether the underground structures served a religious, functional, or technological purpose remains to be seen, but their existence adds a compelling new chapter to the story of ancient Egypt.
Agreed. More and more that I'm listening to this, I'm starting to feel like the entire time we've been looking at this thing wrong. We need to zoom out and start looking downward instead of paying attention. I think that point at the top distracted us because we thought everything was, you know what I mean? And we were so fascinated by the build of it, how they did it, the design and all of that, that we possibly overlooked everything and looked at everything the wrong way. I think we need to look down, man.
A potentially history-altering discovery has been made beneath one of Egypt's most mysterious sites, the Tomb of Osiris, a symbolic burial place associated with the god of the afterlife. Italian researchers, the same team that previously claimed to have uncovered a vast underground city beneath the Giza pyramids, have now announced the detection of a sarcophagus-like structure buried over 600 feet below the tomb. This finding, if verified, could lend weight to long-standing theories of subterranean secrets beneath Egypt's ancient monuments, secrets that may predate recorded history itself. Using advanced radar imaging, specifically synthetic aperture radar, the research team claims to have visualized an unknown chamber below the known levels of the Tomb of Osiris. The tomb itself descends more than 100 feet and is divided into distinct tiers, the lowest of which has previously been thought to mark the end of any structural depth. However, the newly released images suggest otherwise. A vertical shaft appears to continue beyond the third level, ultimately reaching a large, empty space more than 650 feet below the surface. Within this void, the radar analysis allegedly detected the shape of a sarcophagus, possibly surrounded by flowing water. The research team, composed of Corrado Malanga from the University of Pisa, Filippo Biondi from the University of Strathclyde, Egyptologist Armando May, and spokesperson Nicole Ciccolo, emphasized the objectivity of their data. According to Ciccolo, the tomographic radar analysis was able to replicate in high-resolution detail the known interior of the Tomb of Osiris before extending even further underground. The researchers state that this serves as proof of the radar system's accuracy. They used high-frequency radar pulses sent deep into the Earth, and by interpreting how the signal waves bounced back after encountering different materials, they reconstructed the probable presence of voids and structures far beneath the tomb. This discovery follows closely on the heels of the team's announcement last year that they had uncovered a massive subterranean complex beneath the Khafre pyramid. That earlier radar study suggested the presence of 8 vertical wells, large enclosure-like formations, and anomalous structures descending more than 4,000 feet below the surface.
I'm surprised they didn't stop that technology in its tracks right there. Imagine because you crazy in your mind if you don't think they're hiding things underground, knowing that we will never go down there or venture down there for the most part. Like, I'd be willing to bet a whole paycheck that our government is currently storing things underground. Heck, you heard when Elon and Doge was doing different things and what they found with documents that they were storing in some of these places. And was it underground or was it in a mountain somewhere? It was some remote location that you wouldn't expect where they had all of these documents and paperwork and stuff like that. And they were using this old system. I want to say it might have been Social Security, but I can't remember. But that should let you know right there. Like, I'm surprised they letting them utilize this technology because they could uncover a lot more than they want us to know about.
An unprecedented claim that captivated global attention while simultaneously drawing widespread skepticism. The team now believes that these structures may be as old as 38,000 years, predating known human civilizations by tens of thousands of years. They base this claim in part on their interpretation of ancient Egyptian texts, which they suggest describe a lost civilization erased by a cataclysmic event. Such assertions, however, have not gone without fierce criticism. Dr. Zahi Hawass, Egypt's former Minister of Antiquities and one of the world's most prominent Egyptologists, has publicly dismissed the radar findings. He stated that the technology used is not scientifically validated for such depths, and added that no radar equipment has been used inside the pyramid with official approval. Similarly, Professor Lawrence...
That's an easier way for them to do it. Just discredit the whole thing. They tactics. They got to get some new tactics.
Conyers, a radar expert at the University of Denver with decades of experience in archaeological geophysics, expressed serious doubts about the methodology. According to Conyers, ground-penetrating radar is generally limited to depths of around 30 to 40 feet, depending on the wavelength, and would not be capable of detecting features hundreds of feet below the surface. Despite this skepticism, the Italian researchers have defended their approach and findings. Ciccolo, who has 25 years of forensic experience, described the processed radar imagery in detail, pointing out unexplained dark areas on the third level of the tomb shaft and deeper voids that suggest previously undocumented rooms. She stated that pixel analysis indicates these areas exist at depths between 328 and 656 feet, and emphasized that the SAR system used had been calibrated to extreme depths, offering...
Well, if they're wrong, prove them wrong. Dig. All you got to do is dig. I bet they won't do that, though. I guarantee they won't do that.
A new frontier in archaeological scanning. The team has yet to publish their findings in a peer-reviewed scientific journal, a factor that critics argue is crucial for validating the extraordinary claims being made. Nonetheless, their public release of the radar images, including side-by-side comparisons of the known architecture of the tomb of Osiris and the deeper unknown features, is intended to showcase the potential of satellite radar tomography in revisiting old mysteries with new tools. Adding another layer to the mystery is the recurring theme of running water, as observed in both the tomb of Osiris and the depths beneath the Khafre pyramid. The presence of water, especially near sarcophagus-like shapes, is suggestive of ritual or symbolic significance, potentially aligning with ancient beliefs about purification, rebirth, and the journey to the afterlife. In Egyptian mythology, Osiris was intimately linked with the underworld and cycles of death and rebirth, making the presence of flowing water and a possible sarcophagus beneath a tomb dedicated to him a compelling parallel to mythic archetypes. The deeper implication of this research goes beyond physical discovery. If even partially confirmed, the detection of buried structures so far below the Giza Plateau could challenge established narratives about ancient Egyptian history. The mainstream scholarly consensus holds that the pyramids were built around 4,500 years ago during the 4th dynasty of the Old Kingdom. The notion of structures or artifacts existing more than 30,000 years before that would suggest either a lost advanced civilization or a massive rethinking of human cultural evolution. Critics argue this veers into pseudo-archaeology, but proponents say such radical claims deserve testing, not dismissal. As it stands, the debate highlights the tension between emerging technological methods and the slower, more cautious pace of traditional archaeology. While Egyptology is grounded in documented excavation, pottery typology, and inscription analysis, technological advances like SR and remote sensing allow for new forms of non-invasive exploration. The clash of these two worlds, conventional academia and experimental science, creates both conflict and opportunity. The mystery of the tomb of Osiris and the mysterious sarcophagus hidden far beneath it remains unresolved. Whether future excavations will confirm the presence of a physical chamber 656 feet below the surface or disprove it as an error or artifact of flawed radar processing is unknown. What is clear, however, is that curiosity about Egypt's deep past remains as powerful as ever. Whether through myth, exploration, or emerging science, the sands of Giza continue to challenge the boundaries of what humanity thinks it knows about its origins. For decades, the ancient wonders of Egypt have drawn not only awe and admiration, but also intense speculation and controversy. Among the most persistent theories is the idea that certain discoveries beneath the Giza Plateau have been known for far longer than officially acknowledged, and that a deliberate effort to conceal them has been underway. This theory stems from recurring patterns of limited access, sealed excavation sites, and inconsistencies in official narratives, factors that have led some researchers and historians to suggest that Egypt may be gatekeeping information that could radically reshape our understanding of ancient civilization. A central point of controversy involves repeated reports of archaeologists and independent researchers being denied access to specific areas of the Giza Plateau, including regions surrounding the Great Pyramid, the Sphinx, and underground tunnels rumored to crisscross beneath the surface. While official reasons for these restrictions often cite preservation concerns or safety, Many believe that these justifications mask a more strategic effort to prevent the disclosure of potentially paradigm-shifting findings. Some have gone so far as to claim that powerful institutions, both within and beyond Egypt, may be complicit in withholding information that could challenge widely accepted timelines of human history. One particularly contentious example involves...
Why don't y'all ever stop and ask that question? Why don't they want us to know our history, human history, from this standpoint? Why not? Why keep that from us? You ever stop and just think about that?
The Great Sphinx of Giza, one of the most mysterious monuments of the ancient world. Early aerial photographs, particularly those taken in the early 20th century, appear to show a large hole or shaft on the top of the Sphinx's head. These images have circulated among alternative historians and independent researchers for years, fueling speculation that a chamber or tunnel system may lie beneath or within the Sphinx. However, modern images of the monument show no such hole, raising the question of whether it was covered up or sealed to hide what lies within. Critics of the mainstream archaeological establishment point to this as a clear example of potential obfuscation. The Sphinx has long been surrounded by legends of hidden chambers, some of which suggest that ancient texts, technological artifacts, or even records of pre-dynastic civilizations could be concealed beneath it. One thing that is known is that restoration work has been done on the Great Sphinx. Something to note, though, is that at the time, and as mentioned by Tour Egypt, systematic research on the water table, pollution, and on the properties of the stone and mortar were undertaken. They note, though, that for some unknown reason, these discoveries were not applied when the restoration work was being carried out. It's been theorized that the hole in the head of a sphinx actually led to an ancient underground chamber, which then joined up to more underground chambers beneath the Great Pyramids. This secret city, as it was dubbed by the mainstream media, was allegedly found in March of 1935. Newspapers even covered the topic, and it was speculated that this discovery would have gone down in history as being one of the greatest. However,
this makes me believe that that was a part of their design, these underground chambers. So they need to scan that entire area, not just, the Sphinx and the pyramids, everything. Even old areas of civilization where they had structures. You need to look at that area. Like, I think that's just a part of it. Maybe their backup plan. I don't know.
Not one Egyptologist or researcher commented on the findings. It was almost as if every researcher forgot about these initial discoveries. There was complete silence from those studying and working alongside these structures. Back in 1987, a Japanese research team from Tokyo's Waseda University began an extensive underground survey of the regions surrounding the Great Sphinx statue, utilizing groundbreaking technology at the time known as the electromagnetic sounding survey radar, in an attempt to better image the sunken regions of the Sphinx statue. Under the direction of lead researcher Sakuji Yoshimura, the team got some of the most accurate 3D rendered images of the statue ever seen, with a strange revelation that no one had seen coming. For some unknown reason, the Japanese survey team discovered an extensive system of cavities and tunnels inside and underneath the Great Sphinx monolith that were believed to have been previously undiscovered. According to the team, south of the Sphinx was a hollow tunnel believed to have been 2.5 meters wide and 3 meters tall, connecting two chambers, a small and large chamber that appears to connect to additional tunnels that stretched north, south, and southeast of the Sphinx's direction. Portions of shafts were found in unconnected areas beneath the Sphinx, with additional cavities found inside the structure of the Sphinx and beside the body of the Sphinx, unconnected to the tunnels beneath the monolith. None of these findings have been pursued after the survey, with many denying the existence of the tunnels and shafts, despite the mountains of clear imaging evidence gathered under the direction of lead researchers. One of the most enduring myths is that of the so-called Hall of Records, a legendary library said to contain knowledge from a civilization lost to time, possibly Atlantean in origin. While Egyptologists deny any evidence of such a hall, repeated refusals to allow full excavation around the Sphinx continue to raise eyebrows. Some researchers argue that any proper investigation should include non-invasive scanning and ground-penetrating radar, technologies that could confirm or dismiss the presence of subterranean voids without damaging the monument. Yet, even these proposals have reportedly met resistance. These patterns of restricted access extend beyond the Sphinx. Over the years, reports have surfaced of sealed shafts, closed tombs, and even sudden halts in excavation projects across the Giza Plateau. In some cases, journalists and researchers claim to have witnessed entrances or anomalies being quickly boarded up or buried, only to later find no trace of them. This has further fueled suspicion that certain findings are being selectively hidden from public view. The reasoning behind such a cover-up, as theorized by some, is to maintain control over the accepted historical narrative. A dramatic revision of Egypt's ancient past, such as the discovery of a lost civilization tens of thousands of years older than previously believed, could disrupt not only academic consensus, but also religious and political frameworks that rely heavily on conventional timelines. Others argue that the Egyptian authorities, particularly the Ministry of Antiquities, may be driven by a desire to preserve national heritage and protect against unauthorized research or looting. However, critics counter that these motivations do not explain the consistent lack of transparency. They also cite cases where foreign research teams were given limited access, only to have their permits revoked after reporting unusual findings or making claims that deviated from mainstream Egyptology. Some suggest that the desire to retain academic authority and cultural control over Egypt's past may contribute to a tendency to suppress or downplay controversial discoveries. The issue becomes even murkier when considering the intersection of archaeology with politics, tourism, and international interest. Egypt's ancient sites are not only cultural treasures, but also powerful economic engines, drawing millions of tourists each year. The narrative that accompanies these monuments is tightly managed, and introducing radical new theories could jeopardize this carefully curated image. Some theorists argue that global institutions, including museums, governments, and even universities, have a vested interest in maintaining the status quo. To publicly acknowledge the existence of unknown chambers or evidence of an advanced pre-dynastic civilization might unravel much of what modern history is built upon. Despite these controversies, some in the academic community continue to push for more openness and transparency. Advances in technology, including satellite imagery, 3D mapping, and subsurface radar, have enabled researchers to explore what lies beneath the surface without disturbing the land. These tools have already revealed previously unknown cavities and structural anomalies beneath the pyramids and surrounding areas. While mainstream Egyptology often attributes these to natural geological features or dismisses them as unremarkable, alternative researchers argue that
Could be. It very well could be. But the way y'all lie and carry on, we don't know which way is up these days or who to trust with the information that we've been given. So, yeah, we don't know.
that the public deserves to see the raw data and to draw their own conclusions. Ultimately, the question of whether a cover-up is taking place in Egypt remains unresolved. For some, the evidence to support claims of hidden chambers or secret discoveries points to a cover-up. They argue that until full archaeological transparency is achieved, speculation will continue to thrive. The mystery of the Giza Plateau endures not only because of what is known, but because of what remains hidden. Whether these secrets are simply awaiting future discovery or being purposefully concealed is a matter of debate. But as long as questions remain unanswered and access to critical areas is restricted, suspicions of a cover-up will persist. The Sphinx, silent and ancient, continues to gaze over the sands of time, perhaps guarding truths that humanity is still not ready or not allowed to know.